Hello and welcome to Education at SSBG online video tutorials. And we are here with another content of CBSE Class 8th chapter Crop Production and Management. Okay, dear children, we have completed all the stages of crop production except one. Till now we have learnt starting from how to prepare the soil till harvesting of crop. And once the harvesting of crop done, the final stage is to store the crop. So the last stage of crop production is storage of crops which is produced. Storage of crop is an important task. If the harvested grains are to be kept for longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insects, rats, and microorganisms. Do you know moisture can get the crop spoiled? Harvested grains have more moisture. If we store grains without drying, then there is more chance of grains attacked by organisms, and then grains will be unfit for use or even for germination. We cannot use them as seeds. Hence, before storing them, grains are properly dried in the sun to reduce moisture in them, and that prevents the attack by insect, pests, bacteria and fungi. Farmers store grains in jute bags or metallic bins. However, large scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries. Why? That will protect them from pests like rats and insects. You must have seen dried neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home. Most of us consume plant-based diet, but it is not the only source of food. We also depend on other type of foods such as milk, egg, etc. Many people living in coastal areas consume fish as a major part of their diet. We have already learned about the food that we obtain from plants. In this class, we have already learned the process of crop production, right? Which involves many number of steps. We take care of crop production, and we take care of crop production because crops are basic necessity. They provide us food. But wait a minute. Many of the animals also are the source of food for us. Therefore, we need to take care of animals as well. by providing them proper food, shelter, and care. When this is done on it is called animal husbandry. Well, here we are going to complete this chapter. But before we conclude, let me take you to some sites where we can closely see how the sprinkler works and also learn about animal husbandry. We have a cattle shed here. We'll speak to the people who are maintaining those places. We'll also see how the vermicompost is being done and how useful it is, how much time it takes. And here we go. Let me take you to the site where we adopt some of the agricultural practices to take care of plants. As we have already seen and learned about water management, here is one such where we can go close to it and watch. Yes, here it is. And this is what I said and we all have learned in this chapter, a sprinkler. Now you can watch this mechanical arrangement. This is how sprinklers work. And it sprinkles all around the ground. This is how the management of water and even the labor can be done. Here I am in front of cattle shed. Let me ask these persons who are looking after these cattle. Sir, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ರೀ? 180. 180 liters of milk we are going to collect this here. And since the milk is a very important food, a complete food for us to have a better quality of milk, we have to look after these cattle. Proper food, proper care to be taken. You can see how good it looks. ಇದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ರಿ? 25. This is giving around 25 liters per day. You must have come around here many times. I am talking to this school students, Sainik School Bijapur student, but you may not have interacted with the people who are working. ಇವಕ್ಕೆ ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತಲ್ರಿ? 35 kg ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. 35 kg ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ 35 kg of grass for one. So it takes a lot of hard work and physical labor to look after, and this is what we call it as animal husbandry. Now we are going to see and learn about vermicompost. These are our school horses. and our vermicompost pits are here. Let me ask few questions to this gentleman who is looking after this vermicompost pit. ಎರೆಹುಳ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತರ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು?
ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಗ್ತವೆ ಸರ್ ಕೌಲಿ.
ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ
ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಗ್ತವೆ ಸರ್ ಕೌಲಿ ಹಾಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ.
ಹಾಂ
ಸೆಗಣಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರಿ,
ಹಾಂ
ಹುಳ ಬಿಡೋದು ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಗಣಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲಿನೂ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ ಸಗಣಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಹಾಂ ಸೆಗಣಿ
ಒಣಗಿದ ಎಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು.
ಹಾಂ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಮೊದಲು ಪೇಪರ್ ಗೀಪರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು,
ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್.
ತಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ? ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ
ಸೆಗಣಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಹುಳ ಬಿಡೋದು ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮುಚ್ತೀರಿ ಈ ಗೋಣಿ ಚೀಲದಿಂದ?
ಬಿಸಿಲು ಹತ್ರ ಹುಳ ಸಾಯ್ತಾವೆ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಕ್ಷಿ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಳ ತಿಂತಾವ,
ಹುಳ ತಿಂತಾವೆ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದಲ್ಲ?
ಬಿಸಿಲು ನೀರು ಹೊಡಿತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ದಿವಸ ದಿವಸ ನೀರು ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು.
ಹುಳ ಸಾಕ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಸರ್.
So we have to cover this pit. Now this compost contains mainly cow dung. You can add even dry leaves. Anything which is biodegradable can be put here, and it takes about 3 months to convert into complete compost. And who does that? It is the work of the earthworm, right? So earthworm takes, actually they feed on these waste and they digest it and then convert them into a more simpler form of food for the plants. And once the compost is formed, this will be very rich in nitrogen. So point to be noted, nothing is waste. Dry leaves, dry plants, dry dead animals, all those, even cow dung, chicken waste, everything we can use it further to give back to earth. Sprinkle water, keep this wet, have more of microorganisms to function. Moisture is very important. Well, now it's a time to revise and summarize. Now in this unit we have learned what is irrigation, one of the steps towards crop production and management. Now what is irrigation? Irrigation is simply a supply of water to crops at regular intervals, right? In olden days, manpower was used to supply water. People used to draw water from the well, sometimes by using pulley system. These are all traditional methods of irrigation. Sometimes by using chains. Which are winded on a huge wheel, so that when the wheel rotates, a bucket which is attached to the wheel could collect some water, and when it comes up on the surface of the ground, it can pour that water. Heavy weights were made use to lift the water from the well. There was a method which was followed called rahat. Animals were made use to get the water from the well. Now you must have seen here in this picture a great wheel, and then small containers were tied. So when it rotates, it goes down and reaches the surface of the water, goes inside the water and collects the water and comes up. The whole process was to be get it done by using animals, and sometimes humans used to rotate also. But these practices changed once the motor, electric motor, was invented. And that has changed the way how the irrigation is done in the field of agriculture. As the pollution as the population increased, requirement of crop also increased. So as the crop requirement increased, the growth of more of crop requires more of irrigation, more of water. Now we have to manage water. And how do we manage water? By using sprinklers and drip irrigation. Sprinklers, you must have seen, at one end motor will push the water from the well, and that water goes through the pipe and enters to the sprinkler here, a small device which contains small hole around, which rotates also sometimes, and with that water speed it goes around and sprinkle all around the farm. Second best way of managing water is a drip irrigation. You have already seen the demonstration of how drip irrigations can be done at your level, right? The water is controlled here, and supply of water is to the plant is by drip. And next we have seen the protection from weeds, right? And what are weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants, and they trouble the actual plants which are planted. So they are to be removed. They are to be removed either manually or by using chemicals. And the chemicals which are used to remove weeds are called weedicides. But spraying weedicides may affect the health of the farmers. So they should be used very carefully. And once the crop gets mature, now it's a time to collect the crop. Now it's a time to collect the crop. Well, what do we call that procedure as? Harvesting. Harvesting of a crop is an important task, Cutting of crop after it's mature is called harvesting, and harvesting done either by manually or by using a machine. We call it as harvester. But the crop which was obtained after harvesting contains a chaff or a husk which is to be separated. And you have studied in 6th class 2 methods of separation of husk from and grain, right? The first method was threshing. Threshing is striking a crop to a hard surface, right? Now this process of striking it to a hard surface could separate grains from the husk, and that is called threshing. Now you have to collect only grains out of it. So to collect only grains out of it, sometimes we have to expose those grains in opposite of wind, and what is called winnowing, process of separation of grain from husk by blowing air or exposing to wind. And nowadays it is done by using machines. After that, we need to store. If harvested grains are to be kept for longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insect, rats and microorganisms. If harvested grains have more moisture, then fungi, other insects will spoil those grains. So it is to be dried, either dried under the sun or use some electrical equipments to dry them, and then we have to store them properly so that no insects, fungi, moisture or rats will spoil, because we cannot dispose these grains altogether. We have to keep it for long time. So use containers which are called granaries. The used metal containers are used to store these. Locally they are stored in small bags. So that is a part of storage, storing grains. Now, till now we have seen how can we cultivate or produce plants which are a basic food for all. But we also get food from animals. We get food from, for example, milk from cow. The people who stay near seashore depends on fish. Then we get eggs. That means we should take care of these animals too, because they also give us and supply us food. And taking care of animals comes under animal husbandry. Animals have to be taken care and provided with proper food, shelter. When this is done on a large scale, it is called animal husbandry. And here we have summarized, somewhat revised in brief the contents of this unit, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.